All right, today is another update on my game dev journey. Today, I am going to show you this. This is what we've got. Obviously, we have our UI, we have the camera that can pan around, and we have the ability to buy plots, and it creates more, and it goes out in these four directions. You don't build it as a square, you build it as like a cross pattern, which was my original intention. Though I did try to get it work as like a square that you could buy all the corners as well. I just could not figure that out for the life of me. Don't know why, but that's okay. This still has its problems though. You see, it's fine right now, and making this wait longer seems to allow me to go farther. Here's what I mean by that. So the more of these we buy, right, let's buy another. So the issue with this, okay, so it can go on forever, right, in this pattern. The issue is obviously the issue is that these are actual objects being created and deleted. So that's just a lot of strain on the CPU. This is going to not be a problem. This will not be a problem when I use sprite animations instead. This will become a non-issue, but for this proof of concept, it is a problem, and I'm going to talk about it, because it's a serious bug. It's a serious issue. Another bug that we have is when we buy a plot. Okay, it didn't show it, but hang on. Well, normally when you would buy a plot, it would show the +5, but it would show it like out here where you bought the plot for like no reason. So eventually, obviously, the frame rate starts to tank due to the sheer amount of objects, but take a look at our debug here. We're starting to get a bunch of errors because I guess it's getting confused. Like this basically takes this and just deletes it. It deletes this object here. It reads, so each of these has an area. This reads the area, gets the parent of the area, which is the square, and what it'll do is it will then call the remove child function from the dropper itself. And I guess it's somehow getting confused. Despite each of these having a copy of the script, it shouldn't be getting confused, but I guess it is. I don't know why. I don't know if that would have changed if I had instantiated a copy of this at the start rather than just started with it, if that makes any sense. I bet that probably would have fixed that problem. That being said, it does okay for a while, but like if we just keep going here, if we keep moving this along, we're gonna start getting some serious problems. Just watch. And obviously, as you can see, we do have a zoom on our camera. I'm really proud of this. The maximum zoom is 5, the minimum zoom is 0.2. Just keep it moving. Just keep buying more of these. You're gonna start seeing some pretty serious FPS problems. Just watch. You see, my phone obviously has really poor specs. It's a Motorola, which has a nice display, but a decent CPU-ish, but it has a super weak GPU. Though this is definitely a CPU problem, not a GPU problem. I can assure you of that. This is a CPU issue. Now, the thing about designing a game on low-end hardware like this is that if it runs well on here, it's going to run well on pretty much anything. Which is the goal. Which is the end goal. As you can see, we're starting to get some choppiness here. But it's cool. Like you can see, another issue is arising. It's clipping through the area. Somehow. Some way. I think the Godot engine itself struggles to handle this many physics calculations. And again, once I'm using sprites, this will not be a problem. But obviously I'm not using sprites yet, so this is a problem. But this is just simply a proof of concept. I managed to get this to work infinitely in 4 directions, which for me is oh wow, as you can see, yeah, we're getting some choppiness here. But that is a huge feat for me. I'm surprised they haven't started to fall through yet, because that starts to happen. And then there's just ones that never get deleted, and then eventually, I mean, obviously there's yeah, it's weird how that's not happened yet. It usually starts to happen about here. is, so basically what will happen is these will start falling through and they will never get deleted, which creates a huge memory leak and eventually the game crashes. I'm pretty impressed with this. Obviously it's got no fancy graphics. It's a proof of concept. Oh, interesting. Yeah, look at that. There's no wall here, by the way. Just to let you guys know, there's no wall right there. They're simply just, they're starting to just float because it can't calculate all the physics fast enough. That is insane. But I mean, to be fair, there's probably at least 500 parts right now. Just moving. Let's buy some more. Let's break this. Let's break the game here. And again, this was all without tutorials. This was all without tutorials, which I'm impressed with. I'm really proud of, actually. We are getting like maybe 10. No, it's probably closer to like 8, 7 FPS. Holy. Like, the performance is going to keep getting worse, but we're going to run out of memory eventually, due to how unoptimized this is as well, because it's a lot of variables contained within every single square. Look at that slowdown right there. This is beautiful. This is just atrocious. This is atrocious. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this combined my scalable GUI. It combined my panable camera with the zoom, and then it also combined my little dropper concept as well. It works pretty similarly. I did reprogram the dropper. I pretty much just imported the camera and the zoom GUI because that was nearly perfect. I just had to remove all the code for the slider, but other than that, it was like completely fine. Okay, hold up. Oh yeah, we're getting like 3 FPS here. We're at 37K. It's pretty fire though. Okay, now our performance is back to normal here. Here's my click and drag camera code, in case you're wondering. Sorry if I sound out of breath. I have a hard time regulating my breathing when it comes to recording for some reason. I'm still a newbie at this, a newbie. So here's all of those. And then, yep, it does all of this, it does all of this. And then I had to add move to front, otherwise otherwise all of my new dropper plots would go over top the GUI, and it would become very difficult to play the game, basically. But yeah, so then it does all of this. Actually, yeah, I don't need this line. It's not like that line specifically is going to kill my performance or anything. I don't need to delete it, but then obviously that does all of that. I don't need to do the print statements either. It's not really important, but yeah, so that is the entire thing. That is the whole thing. Huge step forward. Huge step forward, definitely. This one stumped me for quite some time, but I decided to really put in the work, and I decided to do some trial and error, and when I got frustrated, I would just step away from it, and eventually the solution would just pop up in my head, like randomly when I'm doing anything else. It's crazy. I'm definitely getting somewhere with my programming skills, my problem-solving skills. Obviously, this is still very beginner code, but I mean, at least I think it is. I don't know what beginner code looks like, but I'd have to imagine it looks like my code, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it. My next video is probably going to be over a sprite animations demo / proof of concept. And then I'm going to integrate that into this whole thing, and we are going to have something very basic, a pretty nearly infinitely scalable game. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, so I will see all of you later, and I will see you all in the next one. Like, this one was really fun to make, but I will see you all in the next one. I can't wait to keep getting better at this stuff. All right, bye.